Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I'm Vicki St. Clair, and I'll be your moderator for the next 45 minutes. On behalf of Acorn Federal, thank you for joining us today. I'll introduce our guest speakers in just a moment, but want to share a little about our sponsor for those who aren't familiar with the name. Acorn is a marketing, communications, and design solutions company. They've been working with some of the world's biggest and best brands for more than 25 years, creating print, web, and digital design and innovative solutions. Acorn Federal does exactly the same as Acorn, but as the name implies, they partner directly with the federal government. And you can see on this slide some of Acorn Federal's primary government clients. Specifically, Acorn Federal partners with government leaders in communications, marketing communications outreach, visual information, and creative design and services. And they work across all platforms in all media, including print, online, and digital. Each of the webcasts sponsored by Acorn Federal is specifically produced for government employees and contractors. Past speakers have included LA Metro's Creative Director, Michael Lejeune, and CDC Senior Communicator, Dr. Cynthia Bauer. So let's get started. Following our guest speakers, we'll have about 15 minutes for Q&A. Please feel free to type your questions into the chat box as they come to you, and I'll make sure we answer them before we wrap up today. If you want to tweet a quote or something interesting during the webcast, please use hashtag #AcornFederal, or one word, Acorn Federal. All right, so that you can put a face to who's talking, I'd like to introduce Dave Purex, Managing Director of the Acorn Studios facility in Cleveland. You can see from Dave's very abbreviated bio here that he has more than 30 years of breadth and depth experience in production and project management. His expertise ranges from streaming media, webcasts, and television broadcasting to overseeing full studio operations. Also presenting today is Trey Shively. He is the art director and senior designer and brings more than 20 years experience to a broad range of media, including print design and production, web and multimedia design, and motion graphics. He's currently the brand steward for several Fortune 500 companies and has been responsible for brand development and management for a regional and global corporation. All right, I'm going to throw it over to our speaker, and I believe that Dave Purex is going to kick off. Dave and Trey, welcome. I'm turning it over to you right now.
All right, Vicki. Well, thank you very much, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be part of this webcast. And I want to take a little chance to give you some background on who we are here at Acorn Studios. Studios is another group within the larger Acorn that concentrates on I'll bring up the slide and we'll show it to you. We concentrate in 4 main areas, and that's digital design and content, multimedia and video, technology and development, and print and traditional media. We work within corporations in a variety of ways. For some customers, we're a complete outsourcing solution, and for others, we serve as a mere extension of their in-house creative services team. This gives you a quick idea of some of the customers that we serve, providing solutions for. We've worked with a number of these Fortune 500 companies, some for as long as 10 and 12 years. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about who we are and what we do. Of course, today we're here to talk about automated videos, and we'll take you through what the process is and what the benefits of it are. I think probably one of the best ways to explain what it is and how it works is to take a case study approach. So many companies come to us for solutions to unique problems, like pain points that they experienced. And one such customer is General Motors. Now, General Motors was unique to us in that the problem and pain point that they had was going to was going to cause us to draw on all of the disciplines within studios. Now, what General Motors did was they developed a new initiative for purchasing automobiles completely online. And they call that program Shop Click Drive. And just without getting too involved in the actual process that's involved in that online initiative, it basically lets customers shop for automobiles online, have a local dealership assigned, based on the customer who's doing the shopping to their regional and geographic area. And it allows them to get trade-in estimates for any trade-ins, go through financing options, purchase accessories, completely cost out a vehicle. They can even have a vehicle delivered to your house for a test drive. Once users of that service are logged in, a local dealership gets associated with them. And that's really kind of the key tenet of what we did to them. Because, let me get to this, one of the key items that a car dealer has when you're in their showroom, and we've all kind of gone through that process, is when the whole process is done, the very last thing that a dealer usually does is take you on a service tour. And this was the part of the online process that the dealers had a particular interest in. They didn't mind at all, or don't mind, that customers come to them via the web and not into their showrooms. But the handoff to the service department is a really critical part of of the whole sales process to them. And of course, obviously for revenue generation. Now you have to understand that General Motors has got 4,400 plus dealers across the United States. And what General Motors wanted to do was ensure, and the dealers wanted to ensure, that their dealership that's being associated with that sale is highlighted somehow, and in particular their service department. So the concept was that the end of the online process would end with a video that does that handoff. And every one of those videos had to be custom. They wanted specific information about that individual dealer, including, obviously the name of the dealership, the website for the dealership, particular photos of their dealership and inside their dealership, to be all part of that, what they call the service tour. Now, you can only imagine the daunting task associated with creating 4,000 plus custom videos. And the traditional way of doing it was, as we all do, is physically editing each one of those videos, creating a file, sending it out, putting it on a server, getting it out to the dealer, making sure that it's on the Shop Click Drive site in the right place, and so forth. Now, when General Motors looked at the sheer time and cost to roll out a program like this across 4,000 dealerships, it became cost and time prohibitive to do it in any traditional way. And Aquin Studios was able to come at them with a self-service automated video production tool. And what it does is create the ability for us to build custom videos in an automated fashion. So before we get too much farther down the GM case study, I think it'll be really helpful for us to understand a little bit about what automated video is and how it operates. And I'm going to ask my associate Trey to take you through what that process is. Can you do that, Trey, please?
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave. All right, let's talk a little bit about the automated video process and the structure and the steps that it takes to produce an automated video. At its core, the automated video process is really a highly cost-effective means of producing multiple versions of a base video. It's basically a means of automating the editing and rendering of custom video content. So there are really three main steps to creating an automated video. The first step is developing the master template, then uploading your custom content, and then lastly, rendering the final file. So let's take a look at each one of those steps. The first step, as we said, is producing the master template. And the master template contains two parts. One part is the base footage, and the second part is the placeholders for your custom content. The base footage contains all your key messaging and the initiative that the video is promoting. It's really the foundation that frames the specific areas for your custom content to live. The second part of the master template is the placeholders. And the placeholders are predetermined sections within the video that will hold your custom content. So the real key to success in developing this master template is planning. So when you're planning to make sure that the base video sections include all of the main key messaging for the initiative and making sure that the base video is brand compliant, as well as planning to ensure that the designated placeholders for the custom content have been defined in regards to how many areas of custom content are needed, what type of assets should they be, and what should they be communicating. So all of this pre-planning will ensure that your custom content will blend seamlessly within the base video template when the video is complete. So that's step one, produce the master template. Moving on to step two, which is uploading of your custom content. Each placeholder that has been predefined to accept a specific file type, whether it's a video clip or a photo, text content, or even an audio clip. And after you've gathered all these assets, simply upload them to the site, and this is where Aquent IT Solutions takes over. Aquent IT Solutions automatically pulls in all of your assets, inserts them into their specified position within that master template, and renders a preview file of the full video for you to review. After you're satisfied with the preview video, you simply click Finalize, and the final video file will be rendered and ready for download. So you can see the process is really user-friendly, very straightforward, even for people who are unfamiliar with producing video on a regular basis. The turnaround is very fast, and you have unlimited usage of this final video file. You can play it on any device for any purpose for as long as you like. So those are the main steps, again, in a 30,000-foot view of creating an automated video.
Good deal, Trey. Thank you. Thank you. That's great. And we talk about the producing of the master template while we're still looking at that slide, and just to underscore some of the things that Trey mentioned. The upload of content and what can be inserted into a master template is it can be video, it can be audio, it can be text. It can be any one of those things, and the key to it all, of course, is the production of that master template and creating those, having a master plan in place about what you're going to insert where and what you're going to allow users to upload. Okay, so let's get back to GM a second, to that case study, and maybe we can make a little bit more of this make sense. In GM's case, we created like a high production value base video, and it tells initially a generic story of the benefits of working with a genuine GM service department after your sale. And so we produced the base video in the standard video production style. We went out and shot footage, we shot stills, and incorporated all those assets into an After Effects template. And within that template is where these placeholders were put for specific content. And for the ease of the way this was going to go, given that we were going to have 4,000 plus users uploading things into the system, we went with a generic audio track that allowed for the motivation for those specific pieces of content. We allowed for in the template 15 different placeholders for dealers to upload very specific stills. Now, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. But what I wanted, one of the key features of automated video and the way it's automating the After Effects compositing and editing process is it's not simply inserting stills into holes where, for example, the video's moving along and then just cuts to a full screen still and then cuts back out. The beauty of the system is that it has the ability to take those assets and fully integrate them into a layered After Effects template. And I think that probably the best way to show that to you is to show you one of the rendered General Motors videos. Now, for users listening on the line, the audio from this video is going to come through your computer speakers, not through our phone conference right here. So I'll ask that you take a second to make sure that you have your speakers engaged and turned up. And I'll ask the other speakers to mute your phone so we don't get any feedback. But this sample will show you, you'll see the areas where specific dealer content was put in. And here you go.
Congratulations on your vehicle purchase. We're honored to have you join our dealership family. We promise to do everything we can to make sure you have a world-class ownership experience. We take pride in everything we do, especially in all of the services we provide. To help keep your vehicle in good running condition and hold its resale value, we highly recommend using our certified service team for all of your maintenance and service needs. We're fully staffed with GM-trained and ASE-certified service technicians and have expertise in using sophisticated electronic diagnostic systems. We will treat your vehicle as if it were our own, and we offer convenient services like oil changes, safety inspections, and complete brake services, as well as tire rotation, wheel alignments, and much more. When it's time to replace your tires, we can help with that too. We carry all of the top brand names at competitive prices. We also keep a permanent record of your entire maintenance and service history. And we only use high-quality, genuine GM parts to help protect your vehicle's warranty. We make sure our parts department is fully stocked, so we can service your vehicle right away. We offer many other conveniences, like online appointment scheduling, alternate transportation if you need to drop off your vehicle, and a comfortable customer lounge where you can relax or get some work done. We're proud to be part of this community, and we look forward to providing you with quality work and exceptional service, all at competitive prices. When it's time to service your vehicle, come in to see our certified service team, experts who are as advanced as the vehicles they service. Our extended service hours are listed on our website. So welcome to our dealership family. If you have any questions about your vehicle now or in the future, please contact us. We're ready to help in any way we can.
Okay, so that gives you an idea of what one of the fully rendered files looks like to the end users. Now I'll take you through the process after that's done in a minute. But as you look at the frame grabs here from the video, you can see that those custom pieces of content that were uploaded by dealers are integrated fully into the template, which really makes it feel like it was produced as a custom video for that dealership in particular. So to make all this work, there's front end part of the process, there's the process itself, and there's some post work after it. So when you look at the the whole picture of integrating automated video, you have to look at it as a event and post process. The very front end part of the process is creating a portal for the users to be able to upload content. And this is a screenshot from the portal that the dealers go through to upload their pictures. So now we provided a guide online as part of this site that gave very specific instructions for the 15 photos. Photo 1 was to be an exterior shot of the dealership. Photo 2 was to be a shot of the customer waiting area. Photo 3, one of your sales associates on the floor, and so forth. And it allows for them to take those pictures, upload them to the site, verify what they look like, and even compare them against a sample of what was recommended for a shot to look like. Like an exterior shot should be far enough away that you see the entire dealership, and so on and so forth. And it also further defined the actual specifications of the uploaded photos. Now again, we're highlighting GM as an example of how the process works. And in their case, as I mentioned, we only decided to upload stills. That could have been video content as well. The next part of the process shows once a dealer has begun uploading photos, they get a chance to see their photo and what it will look like in that part of the template. And the last part of it is, of course, the rendering of the video. Now, once users have completed the process of upload and they say, okay, render this for me so that I can take a look at it, that's where that middle part of the slide that Trey was talking to, begins. And in the case of video, we're automating at the After Effects application to insert those in the timeline, in the right layer, in the right place, and then go through a render process. And when the file's fully rendered, and again, we're doing this on very scalable platforms that allow us to have very, very fast rendering speeds. When that process is complete, the dealer is then sent an email, and the email is generated going back to the user to say, okay, your file from the assets that you uploaded is ready. Here's a preview of it. And they get a lower res preview. Trey, correct me if I'm wrong. Is it a lower res preview that they get initially for approval?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and so they're able to look at it and judge whether the photos are appearing the way they want them and so forth. If they choose to, they can go backwards in the process and choose different photos and re-render yet another one and try it again and make sure. And they can go all the way through that process until they reach the point where they say, okay, I'm approved. I'm happy with the way the content came out. And at that point, IT Solutions wrote a back-end part of the process that took that video and not only sent the high-res version out to the dealer for their own use, they may choose to use it for air or otherwise, but also into the ShopClick Drive master system. So now that customized dealer service story has become part of the ShopClick Drive. Anytime somebody goes to that dealership, that video will automatically be set for them. So what were the results of it? Well, again, the initial look at the process was going to be a manual process. And comparing that to what we are able to do while this program is rolling out, we're looking at cost savings for video production at around 88%. Now, all of this, of course, is, the amount of you're going to save over a traditional means is going to vary by the project size and scope and sophistication of the video and so forth. So I think this was probably a good way to bring you through the process, and by highlighting what is being done for General Motors on their program. But the whole thing of automated video is, again, it's the core concept is to be able to create multiple iterations, and this can be anywhere from tens to, in GM's case, thousands of custom videos. So we wanted to also mention to you that this kind of automation applies not only to producing videos, it can apply to print as well. The automation process can take an InDesign file of a base template and allow users to flow content into it and create print, and the back-end process can send that to a printer. There's really no limit to the amount of applications for it. So, we've highlighted one particular solution, but there's a lot of potential with this product to be able to accommodate any kind of customization in greater numbers. Obviously, the more custom work, whether it's videos or print, that you require, the more it amortizes your initial cost, and your cost per just continues to go down. Now, what we would urge any one of you that are listening to do is to take a little bit of time and just think in your mind where some creative approaches to creating multiple custom videos could apply to you. I reached out to both Vicki and Lee, who are very involved, obviously, with the federal government programs and the creative services within it, to brainstorm a little bit and maybe kick off the creative juices where you guys feel you would be able to apply that. And Vicki and or Lee, I'm going to ask you to talk to this slide a little bit. This was some of the possible applications that we thought might work well for automated services.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, this is Lee. And Dave, thank you for some incredibly insightful information on this very cool use of technology. So I work a lot with many government agencies, and video is definitely the way that they are reaching their varied audiences. So, for example, we've got, in any one of the agencies, we use three here, the Metro, LA Metro, we've used Fish and Wildlife, and then HHS. Whenever there is a message that needs to be communicated across a very broad audience, and you want that message to be customized in any way, shape, or form, whether it's language, whether it's images, the content or the basis of that content will always remain the same. It's the localization or the customization that this video templating or automated video, if you will, can really help get that message out. So what I would suggest at any agency, take a look at the video that is currently on your website, or take a look at the video projects that are currently in the queue, and see, how many audiences do you need to reach? Are they just within the United States? Are they external to the United States? And how can you produce a truly quality video product that's going to reach every single one of those audiences in a way that will take them to encourage them to take an action, to change their behavior, or give them information to help them make a better decision for their health, or in what they need from our government. So I think that's really the place that we want to get folks in the government to think about this kind of a technology. So thank you.
Yeah, and a key point that you brought up, Lee, in there was that all of our government institutions and even corporate clients, the branding and the consistency of branding is really important. And when you have a lot of different facets within an organization taking responsibility of their own production for their local their local need, you lose control of that branding. People can insert logos and take logos out. And one of the key benefits to the automation process is that base template contains all of the approved branding elements, and it ensures a total consistency that only the user content that they need to localize or to customize for a particular audience is put into the greater template. So that's great. And Vicki, did we run over our time here? We were trying to get it right on.
You are actually perfect. So we do have a couple of questions, Dave.
Sure.
One of those is, you talked about 88. We can save up to 88% in cost depending on how it's put together. But what about time? How much time does it take to swap things out? Let's say if I was creating a series of personalized videos to go out in Alabama, and then I wanted to swap out the content for California. What kind of time are we looking at?
Well, that's the beauty of the system. All of the web interaction happens, like any web page, as quickly as it takes to upload a photograph or a video or type in text, which is near instantaneous. So that information gets put right into the front end of the system very, very quickly, like nearly instantly. In the case of video, the amount of time for it to do the automation process and render is solely dependent on the template itself. Is it, in the case of GM, is it only a 2-minute piece that has 15 inserts? Pat, I've asked Pat Petras from our IT Solutions group to join us. Pat, what are the average render times for example, the 2-minute GM piece?
Well, for the 2-minute GM video, the average render time is about 20 minutes. So it usually, essentially with GM, someone can upload their video, upload their images, and enter in all their text. That takes them usually a few minutes to do. And then once they request the video, the request goes off. And usually in 20 to 30 minutes, the user is going to get an email back saying that their preview is ready and that they're ready to review it.
So that gives you an idea of the speed of the system.
Yeah.
The rendering is fast by any standards because it's on servers specifically designed to handle that. So, and the other thing is that it's very scalable. According to the user's needs, according to the client's needs, for how many of these can be going on simultaneous. Indeed, the system is capable of producing hundreds of videos per day.
And this is a great follow-up question to that. Did you provide directions and or recommendations to the dealers for getting adequate picture video quality from them? How do you work directly with the dealers on that?
We absolutely did because it's a critical part of the process. It doesn't do you much good to have this beautiful video template playing and have a still come floating in behind layers in After Effects and the photo is awful and dark and grainy. So we provided on that intake portal a sample photo that we took and deemed the kind of picture you want, and there's a whole section in there about how things should be framed, what pixel rate would be considered the minimum for the photograph. So there was a lot of detail and direction supplied for creating the photographs. Great.
And let's look at tools and software. You're using After Effects. What else?
Well, we really can automate any Adobe application. So the two main ones that are used for automated video and for automated print are After Effects and InDesign.
Right. And so let's just talk about trainability here, because I can see that, working in communications, people have very different skills, and somebody might be tasked to take something on like this with very limited graphic skills or something like that. How do you work with them in that kind of situation?
Well, again, it all comes down to, Trey gave great credence to this in what he was saying about planning. It really comes down to the base template for the video and or print piece. To make, once that's an agreed on, approved, pass-through approval process, that has all the elements of branding that are required, that has the look and feel that's required. Now that's where we go in that set of capabilities that Acorn brings to the table back to the design portion. We absolutely assist in creative and design all through the process, or we can take an already designed and approved piece and work with it.
Okay, great. So lots and lots of flexibility there, which is a good selling point. I'm sorry, I'm talking over somebody. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, this was Pat. I just wanted to add to David's comment, which is once the creative on the initial template is done, when it comes to actually creating each customized version by someone out in the field, for example, it doesn't take a lot of skill. It's essentially using the web-based user interface to upload the text and upload the images. And so really the key piece is when we provide the photo specifications, the user's going to need to know how to get the photos in the right specification. But the actual uploading of the images, the rendering, et cetera, all that is very simple. In fact, for GM dealerships, it was usually an administrative assistant doing that kind of work.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Anything to add to that, Dave?
No. I think Pat said it well.
Okay, well, that's our questions answered. And Dave Purex and Trey Shively, and I thank you so much for a great presentation. You provided great information there, and of course, also to Patrick Petrus, who is the tech expert on that. I want to say thank you to all of our participants, of course, for joining us today. And the webcast will be hosted on ReadyTalk for at least the next 30 days. So if you found some useful information in that or would like to share it with your boss or a colleague or a friend, please do tell them where they can find it. You can hit reply to your webcast email invitation. If you can't find it, that will come to me, and I'll make sure you get the playback URL. And you can also let me know if you'd like to be added to future mailing lists, and that way you won't miss anything. And before we go, I want to let you know it is super easy to work with Acorns. You can see from the slide here that there are several different ways that you can connect with them. And they're very excited to take calls, and so we have a special number here for you to call. I'm going to give you Lee Andrews' number. You can reach Lee Andrews with any question you have. No question is too small or too random. She's really approachable and an expert in her business, so she's very happy to answer any questions about today's presentation or about Acorn Federal in general and how they help government leaders and creative services groups. So I'll read her information out for those who aren't at a computer. Lee Andrews is her name, and the telephone number is 410-975-4183, 410-975-4183. And you can reach her by email at landrese@acorns.com. So thanks, everyone, for being with us today. Really appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope you'll join us next month.